second lab in the semester for Organic Chemistry 1. Again, as we mentioned before, Organic Chemistry 1 is all about learning the techniques of weighing, techniques of measurement of the liquids, the solid organic compound, and also learning how to operate the experiment, how to deal with the heats, with the cold cooling and heating, and then also the rest of the techniques like extraction, recrystallization, separation, distillation, and so on and so forth. So today we are going to have the introduction to microscale, weighing, and measurement. Okay, so as I put that together for you in the report that I sent you on Moodle, so this is basically what we are going to have. We're going to go into the heating method, so I'm going to show you how to operate or how to conduct any experiment when you would like to heat. So this is the hot plate. This is exactly what we are doing and what we are using. We're not using Bunsen burner here. We're always going to use the hot plate. And also we are going to use the aluminum block. Aluminum block is this. So what I did, I just set it up. This, the vial, reaction vial, that's the conical vial, is very, very common and very, very popular to use for the microscale. This is a condenser. Usually we will put the thermometer over here, and then we will start the heating. We open it, we have a heating and we have a stir. If we want to stir, we're going to put the spin vane inside the conical vial and the reaction will go through. We add the chemicals and the reaction go through. Usually we have, if we are doing using this as a condensation, not like as an air condenser, then we're going to have the tubes coming in, going out, from the tap water, and then going out to the sink. So this is a heating, and we always, if you look into your drawers, all of us should have that one, which is the aluminum block. We also have a hole here that it is going to be for thermometer. So we can put the thermometer here, or sometime if we have the metal thermometer, we can stick it in here, just poke it inside the Teflon. So this is how we are going to do the heating. We're also going to measure the solid. Usually we have the weighing boat, that's the weighing boat, or sometime we are going to use the filter paper, and then we're going to weigh in here. So this is, if you want to come over here, you can. So that's what we are using. We're using one of these, or we do have one of the filter paper that we use. So usually what we have, this is a very, very sensitive. It is actually precise. It goes up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimal places. So we are going to tar it. Tar it meaning we're going to zero it. So this is what we do, we zero. And then after that, we're going to bring the chemicals, and then we're going to add it, and that's how we're going to weigh any solid chemicals. Usually, we are going to have the gloves. We wear goggles all the time, and then we have to be careful because some of those chemicals are going to be irritating, and you cannot inhale or sniff. So we have to be very careful with that. If we are using the boat, also we are going to put the weighing boat, tar it, in other words, zero it, and then we're going to have the spatula. So if you have the spatula over here, that one, the metal, and then we're going to have the chemicals. We add the chemicals and then make sure and record our own, the weight. So this is how we are going to measure a solid weight. If we have a liquid, then it's a different story. All right. Now I put in your tables. There are microscale These are a microscale. Probably some of you use it in the microbiology or biology, right? So you see in your tables there is like one which is 1,000 and the other one is like 200. 1,000 microliter is 1 milliliter. We know that, right? 1 milliliter is 1,000 microliter. We have 200 microliter here. And we are going to see when you hold it, please try to hold it. So we have 2 steps here. And the plunger will go first. So we will go first. We insert it inside and we need to have a tips. So these are the tips. And we have tips which different tips dependent on the amount, like the volume of this particular microscale. So we're going to press it first, very, very gentle. 1, there are 2. Plunger 1 and then 2. There is 2. 1 and then the second one. Don't go to the second one, it's only the first one. Hold it, insert it inside the liquid, then let go. And then when you want to dispense it in another container, you go all the way through. So that's how we are going to measure, okay, the liquid with the microscale. You have to use it with the, we have it over here. And for instance, over here, we can always move it from the top. And we can control the amount or the number of microliter that we wanted to withdraw and then dispense. As for the graduated, this is a graduated pipette. Everybody should have it on your table. Graduated pipette is also different sizes. We go all the way to 50 microliter or 500 microliter. For that one, if you see the capacity of this or the volume is 10 milliliter. So usually we are going to have that. You see from here, we're going to, and then we are going to scroll, it's like, screw up, 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 and then this is going to withdraw any liquid, all right? And then we're going to dispense it by scrolling back. So the screw back, that's how we will be able to dispense. Making sure that whatever you want, because we have different sizes, by the way. So this is 10 milli. Every single one of those big lines is 1 milliliter, so it goes into 10 milliliter. So this is the second type of measuring the liquid. We also have a disposable. I will come over here. So the disposable is these called Pasteur pipette. They are glass. And usually we will use those pumps, the rubber. Over here we're going to squeeze it, insert it inside the container with the liquid, and then release it. That will give you the amount that you need. Now, somebody will tell me, how are we going to know how many we are going to need? Sometimes you need to use it with the drops. Like you're going to squeeze it drop by drop, how many drops? Because there are some of the experiment procedures saying, okay, you need 5 drops of sulfuric acid. So you're going to withdraw some from the sulfuric acid that we keep under the hood. And then you're going to squeeze it back very carefully into drops, drop-wise. And that's one way of using this disposable. And we're going to throw it in the glass, disposal. But sometime what we are going to do, because you have a cylinder, the cylinder that you have in your drawers, okay, so if I want to show you how you're going to be able, so these cylinders, right? And then you're going to measure 1 milliliter, and you're going to withdraw it from here, and make a, mark it. And that mark, you're going to keep it, and it tells you how many milliliter you're going to need. But first, because this is not graduated, so we have to know exactly how many we want to, in case if we don't have the graduated, like, you know, pipette or the microscope pipette, we will do it this way. So we will withdraw, make a mark. Let's say I want to withdraw 1.5 ml, okay? And I will draw it, and I see the mark, and I put it with the marking pen. And then after that, I will, like, you know, dispense it here, and I will be able to use this, which has the mark that tells me this mark goes up to 100.5 ml. So that's how we use this disposable that doesn't have, like, it's not graduated. Sometime we're going to use this plastic pipette, and it is also disposable. But usually in the organic solvent, organic chemicals, we don't use that. Maybe we are using it, you used to have that one in the general chemistry. If we have like solution of, let's say, sodium chloride or potassium chloride, they are not going to be melted, in other words, reacted with the plastic. But most, if not all, the organic solvent, they do react with the plastic and they melt it. So we cannot use a plastic in the organic chemistry because most of the solvent are going to react with it, and you don't want to, it's not going to read precisely, and it's not the proper way of doing it. So all what we need for the organic reactions and organic experiments should be within those, like with the kits that you had. And also we do keep some of these materials that you need. For instance, the greasing, like, you know, this is paraffin grease that we use it to grease all the adapters for any of the like, you know, the glassware that we're going to heat it, because during the heating, glass will be expanded. If we're not going to grease it, it is going to get stuck, and then we're not going to be able to undo it, so, or, like, you know, remove it. So always make sure that you grease the adapters, like, you know, the neck, before you do the heating. We also use either the spin vane or the boiling chip before you start boiling any of those chemicals. So this is basically what we are going to do today. We also are going to have that, like, you know, you have this, the graduated cylinder, and the syringe also, you have it in your drawer. Sometimes we use the syringe because the syringe, it's going to be graduated. If you have a needle, if you need a needle, then we do have the needle, and you can withdraw some of the chemicals. So basically, this is what we are going to learn today. Okay? Do you have any question for me? And again, we are not using any hazardous chemical today. So it is going to be sugar, sodium chloride, which is the table salt for the solid. And for all of the liquid, we are using water. But from next week, which is, like, you know, or the next experiment, we are going to have the melting point and boiling point. We are going to use chemicals, different chemicals. And I will send you the list of the chemicals that it is available, and it is going to be used in your lab. Do you have any question for me? All right. And that's it for today. Thank you.